What is going on, YouTube? It is Karma Speaks, back with another video. I was gonna pretend to be fake mad and fake super passionate about this, but I just want to be real and be as authentic as possible. So I'm gonna just, talk to you guys. We all hear about how it's all made up, it's all fake, it's all facade, it's all a social construct, right? The system. What is the system, right? It's this: go to school, eventually you'll go to more school, and then you'll be able to get a nice job, work your way up the corporate ladder, and finally make enough to retire when you're 60, 65. We all have a feeling or an inclination that, oh, that's BS. Like, what? I'm supposed to work 40 years of my life to retire at 70 or at 60? That makes no sense. And you're right to think that. It makes absolutely no sense. I realized this year in particular, that it doesn't have to be that way. As a business owner, I look for cheap people, and that's what you are. If you went to school to get a job to pay an average salary, you're a cheap person. You're cheap labor. You're worth $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $40 an hour. You're cheap labor. And the thing is that these companies, these conglomerates, whoever it is, these businesses even, they charge an arm and a leg for things. I charge, not an arm and a leg, but I charge a decent amount to compensate myself. And you don't think that these big businesses are charging 10 times what I charge? They 100% do. So you have to start to think about it. Look, I'm working for this marketing company, and they're charging this agency or this business, this medical professional, $15,000, $20,000 a month, and I'm getting paid $3,000, but I'm doing all this work. Or me and my colleague are getting paid $3,000 a piece, so $6,000 in total, and they're getting 20, and they have 20 other clients that they service on a weekly basis. Realize you could be the conglomerate. You could be the conglomerate, but by yourself. You could be a freelancer. There's so many different options. But what I want you to just do is critically think about it. Hey, I'm getting paid this little amount. How much are these motherfuckers, pardon my tongue, how much are these motherfuckers making off of me? How much profit am I bringing them? What am I doing for them? Why is it that the owner drives around in this fancy car, has this big house, and has all this money, and I'm sitting here poor doing all this work? That's the system. And I'm so glad that currently, at least, I've broken out of it. Now, a job, I'm not gonna hate on a job because it's easy. It's mindless, right? You don't have to think, you don't have to do too much. You don't have to. Here's the thing about a business. It takes a lot of mental effort and a lot of mental stress just to make something out of it. It takes too much. It takes too much sometimes. And you have to be a certain type of person to be able to do that. For me, it wasn't my personality, but it was the fact that I've already come from nothing. So I was fine with having nothing for a very long time. I didn't have to get anything from my business for a long time because I came from the bottom, the bottom of the barrel. That's it. I have no responsibilities, or I had no responsibilities at the time, and I was coming from the bottom. So the only other direction is up, especially if you have no responsibilities. So for me, it wasn't I'm some type of different person. It was just my circumstance. You might not have the same circumstance, but what I will tell you is that you have to be cut from a certain cloth or have the right mindset to realize, hey, if I just do the same exact thing that I'm doing at this job, but on my own, even if it's small fry, I'll still probably be making more than what I'm making now. There's not gonna be a cap to how much I can make. Funny story, a year ago, somebody reached out to me, a production company, and they were like, hey, we see your work, we want you to come work for us. We'll pay you anywhere from, I think they said 50 to 60,000 was their budget. 50 to 60,000. You know what that is? It's about $3,500 a month. $3,500 a month. It didn't take more than 6 months for me to reach $3,500 a month consistent after they called me and messaged me. I wasn't making any money really. I lied to them and said, hey, I have this client, that client. I'm getting paid so much more. And I wasn't getting paid that, but eventually I did get paid that. And I started to make $3,500 a month. It was it's just what we do. And then fast forward a year from then is $10K a month. So see how if I had accepted that job, which would have been a great opportunity, I would have been capped at $3,500 a month for at least a year. If I wanted to, and you get so comfortable at that too. You get comfortable at $3,500. You get comfortable at $4,000, $5,000. You just are chilling. You're like, yo, I got enough, like rent 1,500, I got this, I got that, I'm cool. But what if I took that job? If I took that job, I'd be stuck at that point. Because another thing that I didn't mention was that one of the stipulations was that I couldn't do this, my job, videography, outside of the business. I had to bring my business there, and I could make a commission off of it. I could make commission off of my own clients. That's crazy. That's crazy. I have to be in the office every single day. I got to be doing what they want me to do every single day for $3,500 a month. Today, I get to be home at, what time is it? 2? I was home all day today, and I still collected $1,000 while being home. You don't get that from a job. Maybe you do if you work remote. But for the most part, for most of us, you don't get that. So I just want you to start to expand your thinking. Think outside of what you know, because it's all possible. If you could hit 1,000, you can hit 2,000. If you get 2,000, you can hit 5,000, 5,000, 10,000, 10,000, 20, 100. You can hit it all. You just have to expand your thinking and realize there is a little game to it. There's a game to it. It's either you're gonna be following the steps that are given to you, or you're gonna figure out a different path. I chose to figure out a different path. What are you gonna do?